What up, fish people? Kitty E with Dedicated Aquatics. Well, I figured before I went to work, I'd give you guys a quick update of the living room, I call it. So, starting with this tank, this is our 75-gallon Dragon Bud / Kyoga Flameback breeder tank. So, in here, I've got some mixed Dragon Bloods along with the strawberry. This is my stud male that does a lot of my siring of the babies I've got in here. And it hoses my red-tailed botillas. A lot of people see those and they think they're rainbow sharks. These guys are not rainbow sharks. They are a botilla. And they are very, very aggressive. Hence the reason they're in with Africans. They can hold their own in here. Not commonly found out west here. I've not seen a tremendous amount of these. Happened to be in Aqua Serin right before the Willamette Valley Aquarium Society meeting and was able to snatch these. Bought every one they had. I kept these in Hawaii. Very, very cool fish. They'll get about the size of a clown loach, so they actually get some size to them as well, so they get along. This is my stellar stud Kyoga Flameback male. If you're not familiar with these are a Lake Victorian species. Absolutely gorgeous fish. I've got to get some brine to start getting everybody going again. They have not been producing of late, but that's fine. I've had a slowdown on the Dragon Buds and Kyogas anyway, so we needed a break. But this is my favorite fish in the tank. I got him from a place called World of Wet Pets out in Beaverton, Oregon. I go in there about once every couple of months and always seem to find something cool. And then here, guys, built right into the wall, we have dual 135. Both right now house African cichlids. However, this tank to the right, I'm considering trading that out with the Oscars. I would like to put some wood and whatnot and get my Oscars in there. And I also have this great big Synodontis decoris. I'd like to put him on that side where we could see him a little more. But in this tank, guys, as you can see, have Malawi eye biters. And then, of course, my pride and joy, Paratilapia bleaker eye. This is getting to be a pretty good sized fish. He's getting some girth to him. Absolutely love him. And I also have a very large VC10. He's an absolute stunner. Then we do house about 5 of these squeaker cats, people call them. I call them lace. Going under the rock right now, that is the miniature dwarf giraffe cat. He's at about full size. Anybody that's kept giraffe cats in the past knows that they generally get huge, but this guy stays relatively small. These guys are actually awesome cleaners of your tank. They're like a geophagus kind of. They'll go through and sift sand all day long. That's all they do. So, and there's one of my reserve albino Dragon Bloods. Got this gorgeous guy. Got a couple very large VC10, or excuse me, Venustus in here as well. This is my male firefish. And in the back there is he's about a 12 to 14 inch long chocolate pleco. I do have some remnants of my breeding obliquians in here. These are all female. Store's kind of dried up on them. So I just figured they'd make great breakup of what else I have in here. I like the stripes, so we put them in here. Then I also have the sulfur heads. Got a couple of those. I've got one in here that's not feeling well. I've got to figure out what's going on. Rather large Borley eye. Then there's the larger Malawi eye biter. And that's the regular dragon blood I have, one of my reserve males. This is my electric blue. He's getting old and he has just faded his color. I'm not sure what's going on with him. But he was a gorgeous fish. Unfortunately, I lost both of my electric blues. Well, I haven't lost him yet, but I would say he's getting old on me. I had a beautiful one in the right-hand tank, and he got blasted by the dragon blood that was in that tank. He decided he wanted to breed, so he got very aggressive. Very upsetting. Here's one of the one and only. I do keep red zebra in here, and then I have this Mbuna species. Then, of course, we call this guy Rocky. Kept him. I don't normally like the OBs, but this guy has a crooked jaw, so I kept him because I know he's not ever going to get adopted in a pet store. So that's the right side tank. Or excuse me, left side tank. The right side tank here we have, this is some kind of hybrid I figured out. Not sure what it is yet. I thought these two were a pair, which I do know they bred, but again, I don't think they're true species. I've got my 5-star general jewel here. Then I've got some lemon yellows in here. Some more Bleakians. This is a featherfin Cachis. Then I also have two smaller, I see them in the back there, of my Paratilapia bleaker eye. Then I do have a rather large, regular old pleco here. There's another. That is the dwarf giraffe cat, guys. Absolutely stunning catfish if you've never kept them. I want to give a shout out to Cameron at the Wet Spot. He's the one that made a lot of these cool catfish I have happen. He's an absolute catfish expert. He turned me on to these guys. I had never seen them. Also gave me all these cockatoo cats. I do have that one Tankaneekan in here. We have a Tankaneekan set up in the other room there. We are going to eventually take both of these Leilupis that we have in here and put them in there because they are starting to get dwarfed in here. I don't want them to get ate. This is a Flame, another Victorian. That's a little firefish. Ooh, she's holding, so I'm going to have to get her out of there. There's the male firefish. Now these were from the original firefish line we were running. Probably going to get that line going again. Great looking fish. We do have a red-tailed shark in here. Again, if you're keeping Africans, these guys hold their own in an African tank as well. I've kept these and the rainbow sharks with them and never had an issue. They will fight back when the Africans are misbehaving with them. So that is this tank, guys. I think I got everything. Oh, Mr. Bleaker Eyes coming up to say hello. These guys are always so curious. He's starting to get his blues and greens in him, which is awesome. So, then next to that we have our, this is a 120 tall. And in here keeps our smaller Geophagus saveni. These guys are stunning fish. This guy's starting to get his long fins finally. I love it. And then we also have our wild-caught Scalaris angels. They're paired, they just haven't bred yet. Then for those that aren't familiar with these are a cool fish, especially if you're a beginner. If you want to keep a cichlid that doesn't need a lot of help, these guys are tanks. These are called the Honduran red points. And they are good looking fish, very stunning. If you do have an aquarium club and want something that's easy to BAP or get breeding, these guys are like convicts. They'll breed like rats if you let them. I got these from a guy by the name of Joe Middleton in my fish club, the Greater Portland Aquarium Society. Cool little barbs. This is the male, then I got 3 females. Then another gentleman in my fish club as well, Mr. Roger Newton. These are Sahikas. Got 2 females, and the male is that big guy in the back there. And then the other fish there is one of my wife's fish that she picked up. We did have a pair of them. Unfortunately, he killed his female, so I had to do drastic action and put him in another tank. And then under there, I can never see him that well, but that is our L37 Parapleco. Good looking fish. Anyway, guys, that's this tank. I think we got everybody. And then heading on this side of the room. And here we have Mr. Drogon. This is my Haitian cichlid, or black nasty is the common name. Starting to get his whites. He's starting to get some size to him finally. He likes hanging underneath this rock here. Very rarely does he come out unless we get food in there. But he is a real eye catcher. Love this guy. And then to top the room off, one of the favorite fish in the room. This is my little girl Susie. I got her from a gentleman by the name of Roger Newton as well. She came to me by way that she killed her mate and Roger was pretty much done breeding them. So I had some green tear, mated pair. I just traded them even up for this gal. She is full of personality. Absolutely love her. That's my little Susie Q. Eventually I want to put her in a bigger tank as well. Right now this is a 55 gallon. She seems to be okay in here by herself, but I think she deserves more space. But I love the eyes on her. Just absolutely gorgeous fish. Very personable, comes up and greets me every morning. I've tried seeing if she'll let me pet her like my Oscars, but she ain't game for that yet. But we'll keep working with her. Anyway, guys, just wanted to give you a quick update of this room. As always, love your fish. This is Kenny E with Daniken Aquatics checking out for now. Y'all have a wondrous day.